From Yemen to Iraq and throughout the Middle East, there's one word that captures the scene as of this morning, and it's unfortunately chaos. The president's former ambassador in the Middle East says the White House's foreign policy is in, quote, free fall. That former U.S. ambassador to Iraq, James Jeffrey, joins us this morning live. Mr. Jeffrey, we're glad to see you this morning. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me on.
So chaos, that is exactly what you don't want, of course, in this region of all regions. How did we get here?
Well, we got here largely because the region has been consistently dysfunctional and unstable for many decades. It has gotten worse in the last few years, largely because of the Arab Spring and the disintegration of the nation-state system. But the Obama administration has not responded well to these crises that have been bursting out all over. And we're not seen as predictable, we're not seen as close to our allies, and we're not seen as willing to use military force if necessary. And those are the three basic principles that both bold presidents, such as President Bush 43, or cautious presidents like President Carter, have all applied to the Middle East for decades to try to deal with it.
I'm struck again and again by the gut reaction of the White House. Events occur that no one can anticipate, and you learn a lot by seeing how people respond to those. The Arab Spring, for example, which you just mentioned, the White House's first response was, this is great. We helped abet the killing of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya as a result of it. How did they get that so wrong?
We all got it wrong to one or another degree, but basically, again, even in a state of, and particularly in a state of conflict and crisis and uncertainty, you've got to maintain these basic principles. People have to fear and respect you, not just like you. You have to stay close to your traditional friends. You can't abandon them. And you have to be, to one or another degree, predictable. And basically, you have to be seen as caring deeply about stability in that region and the preservation of the nation states in the face of all of these threats.
Exactly. That seems like a very wise framework. So to be specific, in Yemen, the president described Yemen as our ally in the war against al-Qaeda and chaos. And then that government is overthrown shortly after, and America apparently did almost nothing to help keep it in power. Why?
Because we saw it as our ally against an al-Qaeda element that was threatening the United States. The few threats we've had from al-Qaeda recently have come from that group of al-Qaeda. It didn't see it as an ally against other threats, including Iranian-backed Houthi militias, who have now taken over most of the country and sparked this intervention by Saudi Arabia.
Right.
That's the problem.
And the Arab League said this morning, not just by Saudi Arabia, but by the collective Arab League, they're going to respond in the wake of our lack of response. Ambassador James Jeffrey, it's really great to see you this morning. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.